All right, what is up, Cane fans? How we feeling? It is T-minus 10 days until kickoff. We're getting close. It's that game, the Alabama game's here before we know it. Cane, Idaho. Hey, John, any news on the Conference Alliance? I knew that was going to be a question. Nothing. Nothing official yet that I've heard. I'm sure as I'm talking, if there's any updates, they'll, some of the fans will update us in the chat. But the latest I'm hearing with that, Cane, Idaho, is that it is very much a real thing, first of all, which we already knew. It's been in the works for a while. And it is going to be on a more of an alliance than it is like an official, like, giant conference merger. I was watching a Mark Rogers video yesterday, I think, on the subject, or 2 days ago. And, reading up on some things, it's not going to be it's likely not going to be the super mega conference that we might be expecting, but an alliance for like scheduling purposes and stuff like that. Randy, what's going on? Always on time. Demetrius, what's going on? Yeah, man, doing all right. I'm getting pumped for the start of the season, man. It is right there. We're a week and a half away. So definitely we're going to talk, if you guys got questions on Bama, some comments, we'll cover that. No real recruiting updates. Recruiting is always a little quiet going into the season. But, it's a fluid thing. Anything can happen. Anything on Avante? Let me just say this now to kind of get it out of the way. No, nothing new on Avante yet. I'm pretty much just going with what Coach Diaz said, that they are, they got all the necessary paperwork, or they're getting all the necessary paperwork to, figure out the situation and make the best decision for him and the school moving forward. It's probably going to be a decision made by the upper brass, not the coaches. So, it's a waiting game at this point. Gage, what's going on? What's up, John? Degenerates in the building. Yeah, degenerates are filling up the building right now. Please, as you come in, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. We're inching closer and closer to 1,000, man. Like I've been saying, I would love to get there in the next 10 days before the season starts. I think it's very doable. But the usual suspects in the building so far. You probably read in my description, we will be having a special guest. He did confirm with me earlier today, and I haven't heard anything different. So as of right now, we have a former player joining us tonight. It's going to be gut feeling on Avante back or no? Before I say who it is, let me answer real quick. I think he'll be back. That's my gut. Again, I'm no attorney. I don't work for the University of Miami. I'm just a fan. My gut, yeah, I think he'll eventually be back with the team. We'll see. I don't know how long it's going to take, though. But what was I saying? Oh, special guest tonight will be former Miami Hurricane wide receiver Darnell Jenkins. He will be joining us hopefully in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So he'll talk to us, hopefully tell us some stories and talk to us about Bama, what he thinks. I know he was on Storm Warning with those guys 2-3 weeks ago, and it was a great episode. He had a lot of great stories. Dude's entertaining as hell. Brother Jay Blaze, what's going on? We ready for Bama? I hope so, man. I know the fans are ready. Will the team be ready? That's my concern. So yeah, in the meantime, as I wait for my guest, I wanted to touch on a few things. I know this is probably the biggest topic on Cane fans' mind right now, going into the Bama game specifically. Zion Nelson, our starting left tackle, who is projected by some as a potential first-round pick, it has been seen very sparingly, if at all, at practice. This is an issue. This is a concern, of course, because that's your on paper, maybe your best offensive line. I mean, I think it's Navon Donaldson, but your most important offensive lineman, the leader of that line. And you need that dude in there. I mean, the alternative would be either Jared Williams moving over to the left side and blocking De'Ara King's blind side, or DJ Scaife filling in and blocking over there. Against anybody else in, let's say it's a Coastal Division opponent, I wouldn't feel too bad about that, especially if we're expecting Zion back soon. However, this is not a Coastal opponent. This is the best program in the nation. So we will absolutely need our best offensive lineman there. And I know our offense is geared towards, tempo and getting to the line quick and getting the ball out of De'Aaron King's hands quick. And I'm sure we're going to have things drawn up for this game, specifically to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers quickly and create some matchup nightmares. However, you want your best guys in there. You guys tell me what you think. This is what I think is going on with Zion. I don't think it's like a serious enough injury to keep him out multiple games. That's just my opinion. I think they're being very cautious with Zion. And I'll get to that question in a second. I think they're just being very cautious with Zion. I think he'll play. If he's like 75, 80%, Zion Nelson is going to play. In my opinion, I think that's what's going to happen. And I think that's better than the alternative, honestly, because I think he's developed to that point that I think he's that good. You need him in there. If he's 80%, he's playing. Now, if he's that 60, 70%, kind of on the fence, what do you guys think? Do you play him and run the risk of maybe further injuring him and maybe he misses 5, 6, 7 games? That you don't want, because remember, after Alabama, there's still 11 more games that we have to win, and you need that guy. Who will be wide receiver 3 from Henry Brios? I think it's going to be Mike Harley. I mean, the top 3 wide receivers have been pretty much set since the beginning of camp. It's Keyshawn Smith, Charleston Rambo, and Mike Harley. I don't think anybody's really competing with Mike Harley for that 3rd spot. I think he's got that spot locked down, and it has had it locked down since last year. However, what is more up for grabs is the 4th and 5th spot. You got guys like Jacoby George making some noise in practice. You got guys like, Xavier Restrepo, who's been competing for that backup slot position. You got Mark Pope that's been busting his butt and looking a lot better, looking really good in the clips that I've seen and everything that I've heard. So that 4th, really that backup slot is really the one that's more up for grabs. Wide receiver 3, that's Mike Harley 100%. He's starting in the slot. What's up, degenerates? What's up, Les? My gut says yes to Tay's return as well. I think so. Island Canes. Hi, John. Buenas noches. Regarding Conference Alliance, do you think we'll have an actual merger? I don't think we'll have an actual merger because it would be so massive. I mean, maybe eventually they move towards that. For now, I think it's going to be more of a, like I said, an alliance, an agreement to play certain games for scheduling. Because remember, there's another thing you got to take into account. We already have a lot of non-conference games scheduled for the next 5 to 7 years. Remember, we have the home and home against Auburn, who's in the SEC. We have the home and home against Texas A&M coming up. We have a home and home against Florida. All 3 of those teams are outside of that alliance. They're all in the SEC. So you got to kind of schedule around those. You can't just cancel those or move them around. We have a road game. I think we have to make up that game against Michigan State. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if we do, because it got canceled last year. So, yeah, remember, you got to schedule around that. So I think it's going to be something that they slowly ease to. It's going to be something flexible at first. I can't wait, though. I can't wait to, those potential matchups with Ohio State and Michigan and Penn State. Yeah, that got me excited. Javier, what's going on? Let's see. Any news about suspensions? Man, come here extremely closed mouth about that. Yes, they are. And it's driving me nuts, as is every other Cane fan and every other Cane YouTuber covering the team. So last we heard, the rumor was Jalen Knighton and Bradley Jennings. That was the rumor. Nothing's been confirmed as of right now, from what I know. So we'll have to wait and see. They'll have to announce it the week of the game. So we'll find out in the next 5 days, probably. Let's see. Main Event has to say. If Zion is 70%, he has to play. Got to show we're at least competitive against Bama. Can't get blown out. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. That defense, I think we can cause a few problems for their offense with our pass rush and our blitzes, at least for the first half. I think we can really throw them off and maybe cause a couple of turnovers early. However, the offense has to take full advantage of those turnovers if we want to still be in the game in the second half. You can't have, we get an interception, great, you're driving, and then boom, we get a drop pass that would have been for a first down, and then we got to settle for a 53-yard field goal, and maybe we make it. That's been the situation in the past. Instead of taking full advantage of that turnover and either taking it to the house, or you drive, march down the field and score on them in 5 plays. That's what the great Miami teams would do. They would take the ball away from you, and as soon as they're past the 50, Dorsey, play action, bomb, Andre Johnson, touchdown. It would happen that quick. And before you know it, you were down 3 touchdowns to us. So if we want any chance in this game, it's got to be like that. You got to pounce on them when you have them down. And in order to do that, yes, you need your line at full strength to be able to run the ball down their throats. Home and home against BYU. Yes, that was the other one I was trying to think of. Home and home against BYU that they just announced. So, there's a lot that they're going to have to schedule around. So keep that in mind. Are they going to take – likely what they're going to eventually do is not have 8 ACC games on the schedule every year, which I can't wait for. Maybe 4 ACC games and have 2 Pac-12, 1 home, 1 away, 2 Big Ten, 1 home, 1 away to kind of even it out. Let's see, any news on Jabari Ishmael? Last I heard, I remember I was talking to Max. I had Max on the show last week. He was saying that, yeah, he's back at practice now, but I think he's still kind of easing his way back in. Remember, he's a freshman. They're going to take their time with somebody like that. However, if Jabari Ishmael can make a little noise this year and create some competition, that would be great because we are not super deep at defensive end. We got a few guys there, a few playmakers, but if 1 or 2 guys start getting nicked up, that's not good. What's up, David? Rodney, I don't think so. Not with a 12-team playoff. You're talking about a full merger? Yeah, I don't think so. At least not right now. I don't think it's going to be a merger. It's just an alliance, a verbal agreement or whatever to play each other, similar to what Notre Dame did with the ACC, just kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing. So, and that's another thing I wanted to touch on. Thank you for reminding me, Rod. Flo, who I just saw in the chat right now. What's up, Flo? So he had the idea, and I will cover it, at least my opinion on it, what they're going to do with the scholarship allotment moving forward, because you're going to have this conference alliance. You're going to have a 12-team playoff instead of a 4-team playoff. Basically, the schedule is going to get longer and more grueling. Do they eliminate the 1 game a year everybody plays an FCS team and just go full Power 5 schedule? It's going to be more taxing on these guys. Do you maybe increase the 4-game redshirt rule to 6 or something? There's many things you can do, but I think at the very least, because they're going to add a couple of games to the season of some of these teams, you got to increase that scholarship allotment. I don't think in the long term 85 would be enough for certain teams, especially if some teams have a few first-round picks and maybe they're sitting out some of those games and they need the extra guys. You never know. It's a long season. So tell me what you guys think about the scholarship allotment thing, because Flo brought that up and it's interesting. I think they should increase it if they're going to, because they're almost going to an NFL-sized schedule. With more injuries, playing more big games. Yeah. And that's the thing. Not only playing more games, playing more big games, more marquee matchups on national TV, not the Bethune-Cookmans of the world. No disrespect to them. Thomas Davis, D-end or linebacker? Ooh, interesting. I'm thinking he's going to be a D-end as of right now. Let me see. That's a good question. Thomas Davis was part of the 2021 class, if I'm not mistaken. Thomas Davis. 247. Let's see. I know the weight is usually not updated in these things. He's an edge rusher. Oh, coming out of high school at 235, 6 foot and 1/2. So he's like 6 feet. He's a smaller edge rusher. He's like a Trent Harris compared to Josh Uche on Andrew Ivins. Yeah, or compared to Josh Uche by Andrew Ivins. And Uche was a first-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. So he's a smaller, more compact DN. He's already coming out of high school at 235. Yeah, I see Thomas Davis likely playing D-end. The other guy I'm thinking of that would be more of a linebacker, I think, is Jaquan Johnson's brother. Watch out for him. He may surprise some people. The Big 12 need to get it together in the Get it together in South Florida, Central Florida, Cincinnati, BYU, and Boise State. Oh, you think they should add those teams? Yeah, I mean, the Big 12 is kind of being left out of the party here with that alliance. So they got to do something, either disband and kind of jump off the sinking ship, or become that like a really dominant group of fives conference. And, that Big 12 would dominate the group of five. It's like, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Your conference is pretty much Oklahoma, Texas, and that's it. It was Texas A&M, but they already left. So they are nowhere near ACC, Big 10, SEC quality. They're not. They don't have those teams anymore. So that wouldn't be the worst idea. They pick up BYU, Central Florida, bigger name teams like that. Let's see. Saw Davis at Lowndes get outside linebacker in high school. Oh, so he played outside linebacker in high school? Yeah, I know he played both. He was an edge rusher. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see what he plays. It's still a little early. Let's see how his body develops, and then, they'll go from there. But I think what was Trent Harris? Like 6'2", 6'2 and a half, probably 6'3". I don't know. Let's see. Trent Harris, football linebacker. Let's see. Is he back with the Patriots? No, he's with the Giants. Trent Harris, 6'2", 255. Okay, so he's in that mold. Yeah, he can play that position. Let's see. He's playing DN because we are short-staffed at the end. Yeah, no, I agree. That's where he should be right now. K9 Ho, I like that, Rod D. We need to do something big like that or die a slow death. Yes, refer to the Big 12. Yeah, they need to. They have to do that. I think they'll keep the FCS openers, but schedule alliance games instead of weaker conference teams. That's interesting. I'd be okay with that. So what you're saying is, of the 4 non-conference games, say one is an FCS team. Let's say it's FAMU. And instead of like the App States of the world, it's like Michigan State, Michigan, and we go on the road to play Oregon State or something like that. Okay, I see that. Or USC or Oregon comes to play us. I could totally see that. That's not a bad idea. Because there are those, like a few years ago, we go on the road to play Toledo. That's not a home and home we should be scheduling. We need to be scheduling tougher competition. And one of the good things Mark Richt did to kind of erase some of the stuff Al Golden did is schedule much tougher non-conference opponents, which is a good thing, guys. You don't get better without playing better opponents. Like playing teams like Toledo, no offense to them, but it does not make us any better. I don't want to hear it's for recruiting excuse. No. Aiden, any recruiting news? Not as of right now. I mentioned earlier in the show that, right as the season's starting, really everyone's talking about that. And the players know that. They kind of want that attention when they make their announcement. And that's – I don't blame them. So I think the players that we're going to commit have committed for the most part. And now it's let's wait a few weeks. Now teams are going to be visiting. I know, was it Anthony Lucas is going to be visiting during the Michigan State game? Do I have that right? I think he's visiting that week, which is big. That's a game we should win, and we should win by a couple of touchdowns. So that'll be a nice chance to impress the young man, because that's a dude I need on this team. So we don't know thanks. Yep, agreed. I'm back on the Manny train. Yeah. listen, if we have a good showing week 1, I'm back on the Manny train as well. Let's see. Let me check in with my guest real quick. 1 second, folks. Let's see. Lucas would be great. Shamar will be at the Bama game. Yeah, Shamar's going to be there. I think Ja'Cory Brown's going to be there because it's in Atlanta. Who else? Another commit is going to be there. I want to say it's Ibieta. And I'm sure other big targets are going to be there. So it's a chance for us to really show out and show what we can do. Let's not be yet another one of these doormats for Alabama to just, have a tune-up game against. Let's see. Sorry, folks, 1 second. Let's see. Rodney, but they got going to have to. They're going to have a lot of money with Texas and Oklahoma leaving. Yeah, they got. Like I said, if the Big 12 decides to stick around, I see them becoming basically like a monster group of 5 conference. They're, maybe kind of rebrand that whole thing into that, which really, they're kind of they kind of have a group of 5-ish kind of teams already with all that offense and, they don't play the best defense. That's what I see happening there. Or just them, it's the sinking ship and all the teams jump off, kind of like the Big East. Although the Big East, I think, still exists in basketball, which is weird. Anthony Morales, Kamari will be taking his official in December, week before signing day. Ooh, all right. All right, give me 1 second, folks. Our guest has arrived. We'll pop him in here. Darnell.
What's going on?
What's going on, man? How's everything?
Man, everything good. How about yourself?
Good. Hope I didn't catch you in the middle of anything just now.
Say it again.
Hope I didn't catch you in the middle of anything just now. I know.
Nah, you good.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, man. So good to have you on. Thanks for taking 15, 20 minutes to chat. And thank you for Big Groove from Storm Warning for hooking it up. Shout out to him. So yeah, it's 10 days until kickoff to the start of the season. Tell us how you. I know you guys all follow the team at least to some extent. How are you feeling about this game? Are you confident? Are you not confident? What's got you excited about the team this year?
Well, I like what the
Can't hear you.
Team.
Oh,
you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Yeah.
I like where Manny is going at with the team, with recruiting, bringing star players from other teams. I like the direction that they're going, with the quarterback competition, receiver competition, adding more depth to the team. I feel very confident in this Alabama game. I mean, it's their first game, it's our first game. Normally, a team hasn't reached a peak this early in the season. So whoever jumps out on top and whoever approach this game more prepared, that's who I think is going to win. But I'm very confident in that orange and green.
Awesome. Yeah, no, because I had my opinions at the end of last season, but we got the good news for how the team's doing. Certain guys are developing. You start to get more and more confident as the game approaches.
Yeah.
So Darnell, you're no stranger to starting the season against a big opponent because multiple times you guys started against Florida State when they were top 10. How different is it training camp and everything going into the season when you've got FAMU to prepare for, or you got Florida State in Tallahassee ranked number 7 in the country to prepare for? How different is it? And what are you guys trying to simplify, or how is practice those years?
Well, playing against a smaller opponent, that's when you want to really simplify. And because when you try to do too much and show too much early against a team like that, it really don't mean any good for the rest of the season because you basically playing your cards ahead of time. So with a big game like Alabama, You want to go in this game with special plays. You want to go in this game with situational game planning. You want to go in this game playing like you playing from behind. Like the package and the game planning for this game is everything. The whole playbook is open, and that's the difference between playing a big game and playing a smaller school. Is that playing a big game, you have to know the playbook from beginning to end because anything can be called at any time at any situation.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed those are the games where like Florida did against us. They call a fake punt or a fake field
Yep.
goal. Like anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you, if as far as the mental preparation for it, hostile environment. Also, you were on that team in '05 that went up to Blacksburg
Yeah.
and beat the hell out of Virginia Tech, but they were like
Yeah.
number 3, undefeated. So you've done this before. If Manny Diaz had you come in and talk to the players the week of the game, and he's like, "Hey, Darnell, get them ready, get their minds right," what would you tell the players right now?
I'll tell them, man, go out there, play like it's your last play, be very aggressive, play till you tired, and just trust the man behind you. Do your job and your job only. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try to impress NFL scouts. Play Miami football. Stay together, communicate, and play as physical and as fast as you can. And let's try to make as limit as the mistakes as possible because it's the game of football. We're gonna make mistakes, but if you make a mistake, make sure you make it giving 100%.
I love it, man. Yeah, because you mentioned the mistakes, the drop passes and the penalties. That has to be at a minimum, if not zero, because
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah,
I'm sure you watched the Clemson game last year. That's what killed us more than anything.
yeah.
There was a question for you earlier about one of the people in the chat. Since you played, I think you played with both these guys, if not the second one. Hey, Darnell, who was the better safety, in your opinion, in person, Ed Reed or Sean Taylor?
In college, Sean Teller was more of an overall better athlete. Ed Reed was smart, was physical, had leadership. Sean Taylor was everything that you ask for in an athlete, and Sean Taylor will destroy you. Whether we was in uh, just helmets
Mm-hmm.
or short, he don't care.
Yeah,
Whatever his job was, he did it 10 times plus. So
yeah,
I go with Sean Taylor. I love Ed Reed. Ed Reed, my boy. Rest in peace to Sean Taylor. That was my boy, but Sean Taylor, I got to see him more.
yeah. No, and that's as a fan when I started going to games in the early 2000s. I saw Sean Taylor do the reverse against Pitt. Um,
Pitt, yeah.
the pick
Florida
six,
kickoff.
the Florida kickoff that he almost housed.
Yeah,
And then there was a pick 6 against Syracuse that he got flagged literally just for holding the ball out. I don't know if you remember that one.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like
The
I saw
pick
him.
six against Florida State in the rain.
Yes.
He was everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Ton of great moments. So yeah, man. So you played during an interesting time. You were there. You started in '02, right? You redshirted that year, and you played all the way to '07.
I gray shirted in '02.
Okay.
I red shirted my for my junior season because I tore my knee.
In
But yeah,
'06.
I was there.
Yeah.
Right, I was there from '02 to '07. Correct.
Wow. Wow. So you saw a big transition, a big you saw a little bit of everything at the U.
Yes.
So tell me what was the difference between and you can be yeah. So everything good there? So you can be as politically as incorrect as you want. What were some of the big differences between playing for Coach Coker and playing for Randy Shannon? And what we're, now it's been a ton of years, like, it's been 12, 13 years or whatever since Coach Shannon was let go. So what were some of the big differences, and what do you think was like the cause of that decline, I guess?
It was fun playing for Coach Coker. Coach Coker let us be ourselves. He let the players, the captains make decisions for certain games, for big games. He trusted in us and he believed it in us, captains, to get the job done. Before I became a captain, he allowed Sean Taylor and Trell Roll, like guys like that, to run the defense. On offense, he allowed Kyle Wright, Brock Berlin, um, um, Ryan Moore, Lance Leggett. He everybody had their input, and he let us come together as a team and figure it out instead of jumping in and saying what he expect from us, what he think need to be done. Coach Shannon, it wasn't really that fun playing while he was there because he came when they was um when they was changing the school. Like the school had shifted from being the U to like a shirt and tie school. See, with Coach Coker, we can wear sweatsuits. Like we can be comfortable traveling to a Virginia and Blacksburg and stuff like that. But with Coach Shannon, he had more strict rules because he came at a time where University of Miami was still building.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I like Coach Coker time better, and I didn't really have fun when Coach Shannon was the head coach.
Yeah. And Richard Hill brings up a good point. Yeah, he came in. Coach Shannon, I think, came in at a time where President Shalala and all the people in charge kind of like they wanted to clean up the image of the program because of the
Yeah,
fight that happened in LSU and the brawl against FIU. I think they were just like enough's enough. We're hitting the reset button, which take that for what you will. I don't know if that was the
yeah.
best decision. It's kind of like it was. They were trying to make you guys be something you weren't.
We weren't right. And that's exactly what it was. Like it was crazy inside out. Like from going to class to meetings to it was just like you got to do this. They was basically saying you got to be this type of person if you want to play. You take the names off the back of our jerseys. Like we
That was
moving
great.
out the orange. Yeah, we moving out the Orange Bowl, and like it was just bad.
Yeah. Yeah. '07 was a year I don't want to remember. I was at that last game of the Orange Bowl. So, and since we're on the topic, I've always wondered this, and I've gotten different answers over the years. I think you kind of took the heart out of University of Miami when either they made Coach Coker do it or whatever, but when he let go Coach Solinger, Coach Kehoe, those assistant coaches that built the University of Miami, in my opinion, that was like the heart was taken out of the team.
That is true. The University of Miami, during my time, had was the most successful and was bringing in the best athletes from around the country and recruiting more from our hometown in Miami. That was the time where the U was the U. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
From me being there, and when those guys got let go, it was crazy because Coach Saul made uh he wrote a speech for every game, and every time he read that speech that he prepared, everybody felt it. Everybody was ready to go. It sent chills through your body because of the passion that you hear him speaking to us. We really want to win for Coach. And
mm-hmm.
Coach Kehoe was the heart and soul for the O lineman. Like he had those guys ready to go, uh, ready for blitzes, ready for different upfront looks, and his just hearing his voice telling you, you ain't doing enough. He don't care what position you was.
Mm-hmm.
Catch the ball, the O line block, and catch them. Just to hear that passion that he had for the team as well. It was a big miss because they brought in like nicer coaches. You see what I'm saying? Like it's
Mhm.
like, okay, well, it's like, well, Coach Kehoe, I know he'll scream at me for dropping this ball or missing this block. And this coach, he just worried about his position. Like, we're a whole unit. So every coach had unlimited say so on whatever position it was. And
Mhm.
that left out the door when those guys left.
Yeah, I can imagine. But anyway, on to more positive things. So as for the team right now, I think this is the most veteran team we've had in a while. Maybe the most talented team we've had in a while either. What are some?
Yes.
Are there any players specifically, maybe on offense or defense that got you excited specifically about this year? Maybe somebody who's poised to have a breakout season.
Well, I'm excited to see how King respond back from coming off an injury. I want to see Harley lead the receivers, and I want to see Bowden back there being a mini Sean Teller. Like,
Yeah, that dude can hit. Just
yeah, he's
they
a
need to
beast.
fine tune some of his wrapping up and when he tackles. But yeah, no, he's Bolden. That's his spot. He's not going anywhere. See, we got Javier. John, ask him who was the fastest player at while he was there. Who's the
Sam
fastest guy
Shields.
there? Sam Shields,
Sam
really?
Shields. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I heard stories
Sam
about the 40,
Shields
the
was,
40 times he ran. Yeah.
bro. That dude was when we run drills. When we was getting in shape for camp and stuff like that, running 110s and 100s.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was like, who is this young dude? Man, his get out was so fast, and you get tired trying to catch up with him. Instead of we had 26, so and we have to make them in 14 seconds 110s. So trying to catch him, he was tiring a lot of guys out. So I just started going on pace because I was like, man, I can't. This guy too fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought you were going to say like Roscoe or something like that, but yeah, Shields was like a legit 4-2 guy, like laser time.
Yes, Roscoe was fast as well, but Sam Shields was blazing speed.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, 110s, when the players are talking about 110s, that's a 110-yard sprint in
Yes,
14 seconds.
14 seconds, 26.
26 of them. Yeah, crazy. But hey, man, I don't want to keep you for too long. I know you're busy with the family probably. So before I get you out of here, quick question. I need a prediction for the game in 10 days. What do you think happens between Miami and Alabama?
Miami 27, Bama 24.
All right. So you think it's kind of a relatively low scoring game for it being those teams?
Yes, because both of those guys have Miami has King, like I say. I know if we jump out a 3-0 lead or something like that, he's going to manage the clock well enough to slow the game down and not try to force anything and take what they give us. And on Bama side, I feel like that's a veteran organization. And if they get a lead, they're just going to pound the ball and it's just going to eat the clock. So I think it's going to be they're going to come down to a defensive game, but whoever offense put up, of course, the most points that's who I think is going to win this game.
Awesome, man. From your lips to God's ears, hopefully. Like that's we're all hoping for the same thing. We don't care if it's 6-3. We just want to win.
Facts.
Yeah, that'll change. I mean, I have positive thoughts about the season anyway, but that'll change everything.
Yeah.
But anyway, Darnell, thanks for coming on. I know the fans appreciate it. Thank you for taking some time to chat with us. And yeah, maybe we chat again in the middle of the season when we're like 6-0, 7-0, hopefully.
Yeah, whenever you want me, just let me know if you need any players or you anyone in particular. Just let me know and I'll reach out.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for having me.
All about you. Thanks.
For sure.
All right.
All right.
Let's see. All right. So that was Darnell Jenkins, former Miami Hurricane. Yeah, man. God, winning against Bama would change everything. By the way, if you're just logging on now, I saw the chat number just jump up. If you just joined the chat, just joined the stream, and you want to catch the interview with Darnell, rewind it. That's the good thing about YouTube. Just hit, just rewind it a little bit, like 10, 15 minutes, or rewatch squad that thing later. But great guest, John. Great. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Just keep the game close. Yeah, man. If this game is close in the third quarter, oh boy. Oh boy. Darnell was a clutch Hurricane. Yeah, he was. In those later years, I remember he was that veteran receiver that was really reliable for Kyle Wright and Kirby Freeman and those guys. Let's see. Bye-bye Bosworth. Smash that like button. Yes. All right. So what was I going to say? Damn, I had something in my head and I lost it. It'll come back to me. But anyway, yeah. So Darnell brought up a good point. Let me know what you guys think, because I agree with it maybe being a lower scoring game because they're coming in with an experienced defense. We're coming in with an experienced defense. And I think our experience at quarterback and it being Rhett Lashley's second year will make up some of that gap between us and Bama, because they're starting a new QB, as talented as he is, first start in college football, under the lights, the whole world watching. New OC, if I'm not mistaken, a bunch of new offensive linemen. I don't know. I know Saban is Saban and he's always prepared, but that's a lot to overcome to just, go out there and win by 40 like they always do. I don't see that happening. John, is Sion playing on the O-line versus Bama? We were talking about this earlier, so I'll catch you up. Yes, I think we don't know. We don't officially know. I think he's going to play, outside of his, his leg is falling off or something. I think if he's 70, 80%, I would play him. That would be my choice. But you are kind of running a risk as well, because there's 11 games after Alabama. So we'll see. I think he plays. I think they're just holding him. He's in the back getting treatment. He's getting a little strength and conditioning in, a little cardio to stay in shape. I think that's why you don't see him at practice much. We have to hit Bama in the mouth hard and early. Yes, dude. Another thing Darnell brought up: scoring first. That is massive. Even if we get like a 3-0 lead, 6-0 lead, he brought up De'Ara King being the veteran QB. Thing is, it's not Rhett Lashley's style. Going to more of a, just pound the rock and control, just control that clock and drain the clock. I see him putting his foot on the gas and trying to get to 10, 17, 24-0, which I'd be okay with. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Our linebacker and DNs are key. They need to play well, yes. They need to, Bryce Young, if he gets out and tries to run, they need to contain him, absolutely. And open field tackling, it's huge in every game, but especially in this one. But open field tackling is going to be huge for Alabama too, because I don't want to say their corners are suspect because they're very talented, but there's no Pat Surtain on their team this year that I'm aware of. I know Josh Jobe is a guy that Alabama fans have brought up that they're a little concerned with. He's not quite the first-round caliber guy they were expecting. He's still good. He's still talented. He makes plays, but he can be tested. And, I think they're going to test that secondary to try to make tackles in the open field, which I think is a great idea. I'm hoping Jalen Knighton is ready to play, is going to play for that reason, but we'll have to use the guys we have. Let's see what else. Man, we're going to crush. Sigmund, where have Scaife been? I haven't heard any talk about him. I think Scaife has been working more with the twos than with the ones. There you go, main event. Scaife been getting reps at right tackle with Zion out and Williams at left tackle. Yes. Yeah, that's true. My mistake. Yes, he has been getting reps with the ones because Zion is out. That's true. So he is out there. Nothing wrong with Scaife. They have a lot of injuries right now. You talking about Bama or Miami? Miami has a few. I wouldn't say they have a lot. It's Zion, which is a key one. Who else? Nesta's back. You got Keyshawn Washington is back, from what I understand. Bama, okay. Bama has injuries. Yeah, I heard their top defensive tackle got hurt and will probably miss the game. That's what we heard last week. Kool-Aid. Yes. Kool-Aid, one of their corners. I don't know how good Kool-Aid is. Let's see. Was he I think he's a freshman. Kool-Aid McKinstry. Let's see where he's rated. Sorry, folks, 1 second. Kool-Aid McKinstry 247. Of course, he's a 5-star recruit. Of course he is. Yeah, Kool-Aid is a 5-star recruit. However, is this his first year? Committed 2022. Yeah, this is his freshman year. So, yeah, there's things we can kind of take advantage of. Skipping. A lot of injuries right now. 100%, huh? Bye, Bosworth. I feel like Mad Dog Mandich. My toes are tingling. Yeah, it would be great. Shout out to the late, great Mad Dog Mandich. Obviously, I'm not old enough to have watched him play for the Dolphins, but he was awesome on the radio. The nerd that I am, I would listen to him. I would turn on 560 on my way home from school. This is probably like my high school years when he would have that show in the afternoon. I used to love listening to him. 904 Hurricane, Alabama's offensive line. Do they have injuries on the O-line? Because I know they're inexperienced. They're going to be starting a lot of new guys. Not that I wish injury on anybody, but it would help. Sigmund, if we could duplicate what Ole Miss did, we will have a shot. Yes. Go back if any of you have, 15, 20 minutes. You can watch the condensed games on YouTube. Go back and watch Bama versus Ole Miss last year. Ole Miss, and, with that Lane Kiffin offense, put up a ton of points on that defense. And a ton of yards. I think it was like 600 yards they put on them, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that on Florida? They did that to one of the SEC teams. So, yeah, man, I think we're definitely going to make a dent in that defense. That's for sure. Richard Hill, most Bama guys are 5 stars. Yeah. Kool-Aid was the #1 corner in the nation last year. Damn. Mad Dog, I want to drink a green lizard after the show. Yeah. They scored almost every series. Yeah. But Bama had like one of the greatest offenses, maybe the best offense they ever had last year, with Mac Jones, who's with New England now, with Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. I mean, that offense was just absurd. Most of them are gone now. They have that one receiver, I forget his name, that one experienced guy coming back, but they reloaded with talent for sure. But I'm telling you, inexperience, it's going to mean something. Offensive line new stars have a lot more experience than those fans realize. Yeah, I mean, they do play a lot of garbage time. That's the good thing about blowing teams out early. You get some play time late in those games. So they've gotten their minutes in, they've gotten their snaps, but still, it's not the same as getting starts together. That's a little different. You build that continuity that way. Lashley has to throw the kitchen sink versus Bama, 5 wideouts, 10 and tight end plus Rooster out of the backfield, 7 receivers, spread them out. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the game plan. I think that's the game plan in a lot of games, to be honest with you. Let that Jalen. No, not Waddle's with the Dolphins now. It's another kid he has kind of a weird name. I think it's with a W. Oh, God, I can't think of his name right now. Someone tell me, what's that last remaining great Alabama receiver from that group? He's still on the team right now. Blue chip ratio for Bama's roster is over 70. That's just disgusting. It used to be over 50. You were like an elite team. That's crazy. Now for Hurricane, 3 returning O-linemen, but 1 is hurt. Interesting. All right, guys, we'll be on for 10 more minutes. But I think Mechie or Menchie? Yeah. Mechie, yes. That's the receiver. Yeah, they're going to line him up. And listen, I feel a lot better that dude lining up against our more experienced corners, because from what I'm hearing about DJ Ivy and Corey Couch, I feel a lot more secure on the outside. I don't think we're going to get beat for any deep balls, hopefully, especially not for like a touchdown or something like that. I think we're going to contain them as far as the big play goes. If we do that, I think we're going to be in good shape, especially in the first half. But you got those two. You got Tyreek. You got Marcus Clark and Isaiah Dunson, who I think either one may crack the 2 deep this year. I think they're that good, and they've been having that good at camp. And they've both improved a lot. So I feel way better about corner than I did last year. And that's without Al Blades. Add him into the mix. John, do you think Saban thinks we will go Ole Miss game plan? Maybe Lashley and Manny go ball control and jumbo package? Yeah, that's the chess match. What do you do? Do you try to spread them out? This is what I would do. I would spread them out. Mix up some run. Don't just do that every play. I would spread them out and force their weakness on defense, which is likely their secondary, to try to make open field tackles. Force them to try to do that, because they're going to force us into our weakness on defense. They're going to go jumbo package and try to run against our smaller, quicker guys. That's why turnovers are going to be massive. We can't just stop them on 3rd and long. We also have to take the ball away, cut their drive short. Let's see. Any word on Ja'Cory Brooks for Bama? Ja'Cory Brooks will play according to Richard Hill. Let's see. Let's look that up. Ja'Cory Brooks. Ja'Cory Brooks is an extremely talented receiver out of the South Florida area. I think he's from – is he from Booker T? IMG. But I think he was at Booker T at one point. Yeah, nothing – just a quick Google search. I don't see anything about him playing next Saturday. Let's see. I wanted Brooks bad. I did too. There was a minute where I thought we had a chance at him. What's going on? Hey, Chris. Yeah, man, everything's good. Had a great interview with Darnell Jenkins. If you're just joining us, take that cursor and rewind it 30 minutes, and you can catch it or rewatch it later. Let's see what else we got. Did Barry's tweet kind of confirm that Avante gets reinstated? I'm not sure. I would have to see the tweet you're talking about, Phil. But I ultimately think he comes back. I just think they got to go through the process and all the paperwork and all that stuff. He's not coming back for the Bama game. I'd be surprised. I'm assuming you spoke on Avante already. I did. Yeah, basically, I'll touch on it really quick. So Avante, basically, a lot of you guys probably know Manny Diaz came out and said a few days ago that the status with him is they're working on getting all the required paperwork and getting it up to, the president and, all the people, all the higher ups of the University of Miami, because they're ultimately making this decision, not Manny Diaz. So they're going to take their time with this, and hopefully they'll make the right decision for the young man. I hope he gets a chance to, he wasn't charged, and charges were dropped. So I hope he gets a chance to redeem himself and, get back on this team and get his career and his life back on track. I hope so. But we'll see. My thought is, yes, I think he'll eventually get reinstated. That's just my gut, but it'll take a little bit of time. If Brooks and Avante Williams were both starting, I would feel so much more confident about Miami beating Bama. You're talking about Sam Brooks. Yeah, because those are two guys. You're talking about two of the best athletes on the defense. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know as of right now if anybody can tell me Sam Brooks' status for the game, because last I heard, he is back with the team at practice. I've heard different things. I've heard he's healthy. I've heard he's ready to go. And then I've heard, oh, he's not quite in shape yet, which I can't imagine he's in football shape at the moment. It's going to take a little bit of time. But, yeah, Sam Brooks is Mr. Glass. Hey, listen. Turf toe is no joke, and he had it really bad. And it's something, it could become chronic. Sometimes it takes years to go away. So it's just a pain he's got to deal with. But automatically, if he's ready to play and he could play close to 100% of what he's able to, that is Brooks is ready. I hear that's what I hear for the most part, Richard. So I think he automatically is if not your best middle linebacker, he's right there with Corey Flagg. Because I think Corey Flagg is not the athlete Brooks is, but Corey Flagg is quick mentally. He'll read plays and he'll know exactly where to be. And also very mature, very short tackler. So, they're kind of even in that regard. Turf toe takes 2 to 3 years. If it's that bad, yeah, it could. It's just one of those, think about it, you're walking, you're pushing off that big toe. Yeah, you're constantly using it. It takes a long, long, long time to heal. Good evening, John. Beyond our starters on the O-line, do you think we have the depth to handle what Bama's going to throw at us defensively? Will the depth issue be a problem? I don't know if it'll be that much of a problem game one, because remember, it's game one. We're going to be as fresh as possible. As fresh as we're going to be all season for the first game. So I don't think it's going to wear on us now. It could make a dent, and then, that starts to show itself later in the season. That's why I'm thinking ripping the ball out, causing a fumble, maybe forcing a long third down, pressuring Bryce Young into an interception. That's going to be key. Maybe a special teams touchdown, maybe a block punt, a block field goal. You got to somewhere in some phase of the game, you got to cause some havoc. That's the only way we're going to win this game. Isaiah Walker going through some tough times here. Yes. Glad you brought that up. We'll end on that. Yeah, Isaiah Walker, who's one of the offensive tackles on this team, very, very talented, a guy that we are all still very high on, that we all think he could still have a very, very good career, if not great career, at the University of Miami. Transferred from Florida. Unfortunately is dealing with some mental health issues right now. So if, like Anthony says, he's going through a tough time. So if, depression is a real thing, man. Depression, anxiety, all that stuff, it's real. So please, if you see him, if you can find him on Twitter, on social media, send him a comment, send him a message, tell him we love him, and the Kane family's behind him, and, and hopefully he gets the help he needs. And whether we see him on the field or not, eventually, I hope we do, but, just hopefully he can get his mind right. Let's end on something positive. Prediction for FSU versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame, 52, FSU, -7. All right. Let's see, Bryce, those 2 picks. What's up, Big Groove? Yes. Big Groove. What's going on, man? You caught us. I love that. I love that he's embracing the fact that he fell asleep on a Zoom call, because that's his thumbnail picture now. Yeah, guys, so we hit that hour mark. Appreciate y'all coming on. Please, if you're just joining us, go back, rewatch it, share it with your friends, share it on Twitter, social media, whatever. Today's basically over, so we're 9 full days away from the game, and I could not be more excited. Anyways, guys, all about the U. As always, go Canes.